transit system. This automated train is provided for the security and convenience of the Black Mesa Research Facility personnel.
It's finally time to finish what I started with Hunt Down the Freeman. You guys remember how Doom changed everything, and everything after Doom was a Doom clone. Well, that's the thing that kept going for like 5 years, even Quake suffered from it. Its software was unstoppable. They'd even moved out of DOS. There was WinQuake, but more importantly, I remember getting a copy of Doom 95 with Final Doom. That image there scared the fucking pants off a child civvy. Doom 95 was a new thing using the other new thing at the time, DirectX, and the team at Microsoft that was priming the pump for Bill Gates to put on a trench coat in front of a nuclear plant.
These games are getting really realistic.
That team was headed by a Microsoft employee by the name of Gabe Newell, a Harvard dropout and presently a patron saint of PC gaming, allegedly inspired by another Microsoft employee named Michael Abrash, who helped id Software develop the Quake engine. Listen, I think Gaben might be the only person who can defeat engineering elemental and Luddite nemesis John Carmack. Gabe Newell partnered with another future ex-Microsoft employee, Mike Harrington, and founded a little company you may have heard of called Valve. Valve's first game was Half-Life. I think I once said in one of those old videos that may or may not share the current timeline, I don't know, that Doom was the Citizen Kane of video games, a claim I would like to walk back if I ever made it in the first place. Doom is more like the technical cinematic breakthroughs of the 1910s, like Birth of a Nation, except instead of all the... oh no. Instead of all that, it's wholesome demon fighting. Half-Life is closer to the Citizen Kane of gaming. It is a critical mass, a point of no return, where narrative in video games was changed forever. Citizen Kane experimented with telling stories from several perspectives, each one having a different and possibly unreliable narrator, which would lead to other movies taking influence like Rashomon, and if I bored you with all this basic film theory bullshit, we can always talk about how that killed Doom likes for almost 20 years. I held a grudge against Half-Life for a long time because it did that. Half-Life isn't a bad game, it's pretty good actually, and it has really cool, inventive set pieces that blew everyone away at the time, and a lot of the stuff holds up. But I know what you guys want, you want that pro Half-Life. So here, we're playing the Steam version, not Half-Life Source. No, we're not doing that. This is just plain old Half-Life, similar to the version I would have played back in like 1999, except in a decent resolution. And it's hard to explain what seeing this for the first time was like. Imagine how an FPS game starts, right? Doom. Duke Nukem 3D.
Let's rock. Damn, those alien bastards are gonna pay for shooting up my ride.
Quake. Quake 2.
Establish communications.
There's death or an explosion within the first minute. Not here. We have credits. A train ride that seems to go on forever, which may seem boring now, but all this shit happening, all this world building, there's a robot here carrying boxes, there's guys running around, the sun is peeking through the rocks. That motherfucker who hit all those revenants in Plutonia worked on this. What Half-Life had wasn't so much a game director, it was something they called the Cabal. Barney, yes, Barney, is locked out. No one had done this, and even if they had, it certainly wasn't an unbroken first-person narrative, and oh shit, who's that guy in the suit? We didn't know, we kept seeing him, and we had no idea. This was another day on the job for Gordon Freeman, MIT graduate, lab assistant, disaster response discretionary. I always liked that touch, because of what was coming next.
Thank you, and have a very safe and productive day.
Morning, Mr. Freeman. Looks like you're running late.
Oh god, that's HD Barney. Hold on. We're turning the HD models that came with Blue Shift off. Oh. Hello, Randy. Perhaps another time your grease will seep into this show, but not today. Whew, that's better.
Play the hazard course, Civvie.
Why?
Hello and welcome to the Black Mesa Hazard Course, where you will be trained in the use of the hazardous environment suit.
Fine, here's the hazard course. It teaches you how to crouch jump. Crouch jumping is important. I don't know how someone would do this in real life, but it's important to know for Half-Life, and only Half-Life, and Postal, I guess.
Lead a security guard into the next room. He will let you back into the transit system. Security guard. And press the use key again.
Oh no, the security guards mysteriously died. I guess I have to play the game untrained now.
Hey, Mr. Freeman.
Excuse me, I'm a doctor.
My God, what are you doing?
Come on, Gordon. You trying to get me into trouble?
You have no idea. Oh man, if you're the Barney that lives through this, we're gonna have some laughs later on. I'm playing this on hard, which people warned me about, and in retrospect, I understand why they warned me. The enemies are a bit spongy, but I've played a decent amount of Sven co-op, so I'm used to that. And also, I've played Half-Life for 20 years. I know this game almost like the back of my hand. I can list the chapter names in order from memory, and not just because I played it so many times, but because something memorable happens in each one.
Weren't you supposed to be in the test chamber half an hour ago?
Yeah, I know. I'm delaying the near apocalypse and invasion of a totalitarian alien race. That second part we didn't even know about until 6 years later. Oh man, the memories. Grab your suit, listen to that music, go into your locker for a little HEV suit power, and on hard, I mean a little. And look, there's one of Mark Laidlaw's books. That guy who wrote this series before they... Oh god, don't even get me started on where this shit went. I'd have to get into Half-Life Alyx, and we do not have that kind of time.
Time, Civvie?
What? No, not now.
Sleep.
Have you ever wanted to share a house with your favorite YouTuber? Get to know them inside and out, their dirty little secrets, their weird sex things? Well, you won't have to worry about that anymore when you sign up to Civvie's, my OnlyFans. Now with Private Blog, you'll get to know me inside and out. What did I have for breakfast? Do I take my coffee with a shot of espresso and then amphetamines? Do I have Funko Pop vinyl stuffed into my underwear? It turns out I'm just like you. Let's have the beer! Sometimes I get this feeling that half the time I'm not here, my stuff gets moved, the bucket's full again, and I didn't do that. I know what's wrong, and none of you are doing anything about it! You guys remember when Duke Nukem Forever tried this whole long intro to set the scene thing? And it sucked? So, you know, you're running around, you destroy this poor bastard's lunch.
My God, what are you doing?
You fuck with the soda machines. The thing about Half-Life's design is that it takes as much from Quake as it does from Duke Nukem 3D. It's a bit more grown up, though. Instead of giving money to strippers and prostitutes, you're interacting with boring stuff, but it's still interaction.
These games are getting really realistic.
And that's something that Quake didn't really do. It's a little disingenuous to say that Gold Source, the engine powering Half-Life, is just Quake, because it goes far beyond. So far beyond that these little loading screens that show up instead of end-level stats to make a seamless transition between areas, these loading screens were a necessity because while Quake could have these giant-ass castles, Half-Life wasn't just brushwork, it was models, interactive elements, NPCs, scripting, moving parts. So they had all of this stuff done in 1997, and they wanted to release this game to compete with Quake 2, but then they threw everything out. Oh, this is so raw, it's not even funny. It feels just like Quake. Look at the ass on that head crab. Oh, it's an instant kill. Cool. Okay, that checks out. Yeah, I can see why they threw this away. So, the thing about learning the wrong lessons from Half-Life. Linear games made up of set pieces are not themselves bad. Half-Life is dropping you into the shoes of Gordon Freeman as he goes about his normal day at work. Duke Nukem Forever is a sequel to a game about killing aliens in the first 2 minutes, and it spends half an hour pissing around. Yeah, okay, there's a Cycloid Emperor fight first, but that sucks. It's barely a fight. Oh, forget it, I don't care anymore.
They're waiting for you, Gordon, in the test chamber.
I'm afraid we'll be deviating a bit from standard analysis procedures today, Gordon.
Yes, but with good reason. This is a rare opportunity for us. This is the purest sample we've seen yet.
And, potentially, the most unstable.
Now, if you follow standard insertion procedures, everything will be fine.
Why does Einstein here look like he's had a stroke? Oh god, we used to call him Einstein before he became Dr. Coomer. Not that I'm complaining, it was earned.
Don't know how you can say that, although I will admit that the possibility of a resonance cascade scenario is extremely unlikely.
Gordon doesn't need to hear all this. He's a highly trained professional.
My God, what are you doing? Gordon, we have complete confidence in you.
Well, go ahead. Let's let him in now.
Stage 2 emitters activating now.
Gordon, we cannot predict how long the system can operate at this level, nor how long the reading will take. Please, work as quickly as you can. Standard insertion for a non-standard specimen. Go ahead, Gordon. Slot the carrier into the analysis port.
Hey, are you sure you want me to do this? You know, I used to push shopping carts at a grocery store, and I didn't have to go to MIT to do that shit.
Get away from the...
Shut it down. No. Attempt to shut down. It's not shutting down. It's not.
Oh, look, everything's, yeah, this was mind-blowing in 1998, okay? This changed everything. Everybody's dead, and it's at this point that I really need to express that a game about a science experiment going wrong with monsters being teleported in is not exactly new. But no one had told it like this. You're in the dark for another couple of levels just trying to survive. This was like a new feeling, a new emotion introduced into FPS games. And games in general. I can't undersell it, and I'm not sure anyone has captured it again. Not even Valve. Alright, you two, come with me. I know the way. Actually, I don't need to know the way. It's pretty hard to get lost in this game. It's basically a straight shot to the Lambda Labs.
This is as far as I get.
First thing you should do is go back to the locker room and get that HEV suit charge again, and the ammo in this locker for the pistol you picked up when this guy died, because you're playing on hard, and the headcrab zombie's fucking hurt now.
Of course. Man, what the hell are these things? And why are they wearing science team uniforms?
You can save ammo because they telegraph their attacks, but you don't have to feel bad about killing Barney, not that I ever did. Oh, here's Dario Casali's locker. I wonder what's in here. Oh, God. The game quickly teaches you how to play it. You have to shoot things, you have to break things with the crowbar. Scientists are going to die no matter what you do, usually because of unsafe elevator design, which is why we spend so much time traveling in the vents, I assume. The other scientists will be glad to help you along the way.
I'm sure the rest of the science team will gladly help you. I'm going to stay here and wait for my colleagues. You're going to have to leave me here, Gordon.
I'm not saying that the scientists are more of a burden than anything, but there are 2 Half-Life mods I can list off the top of my head that are about remorselessly murdering them.
Sorry, I'm leaving now.
Early on, after you face your first hound eyes, yeah, those things, they're weak, don't worry about them. Anyway, you go up here, and this guy will let you into an armory where you'll get your first grenades. 1 grenade is actually 5 grenades, which I assume is some kind of Russian nesting doll situation. But they give you 15 and you max out at 10. So, yeah, okay, I guess I have to try them out. That guy wasn't gonna climb down a ladder. So many set pieces, so many memorable moments, and some of them I just hate. Like this elevator where it keeps spawning head crabs. We'll just duck this shit and move on. The first level introduces you to a few of Half-Life's legendary monsters, and some of them make it through into Half-Life 2 and beyond. Head crabs, naturally, head crab zombies and hound eyes we've already seen. And now we've got the bull squids, and while they're tanky on hard, it's easy to avoid their attacks. And when you get down here, the game purposefully shows off one of its fun little tricks with the AI. The bull squids hate head crabs too. Oh, and barnacles. Let's not forget barnacles. Is that all you got? And the first sewer of the game. Vortigaunts, that's right. Before they were your friends with the angelic voice of Tony Todd, they were nasty little shambler wannabes. Yes, they are shamblers. Shut the fuck up. They are 100% shamblers, except weaker. Lightning attack? Check. Melee attack? Check. So maybe shaved shamblers. Yeah, that's it. Shamblers are furry, goddammit, and I will die on this hill. Platforming. We all love it, especially in first person on a janky. Oh yeah, don't tell me Half-Life 1 isn't janky. We'll see more of that going forward. I've done this crate thing so many times, you can just walk over most of these. Office complexes, well, you get the shotgun here, if you're really looking for it, and you get an obscene amount of ammo if you save Barney.
That'll look nice in my trophy room.
It's a good shotgun. It's not Doom good, but it's good enough. It sounds nice and it reliably murders things. The scientists are still hopeless.
I just overheard a secure access transmission. Soldiers have arrived, and they're coming to rescue us. Of course, I have my doubts if we live long enough to greet them.
Is this how Cassandra felt, knowing that all these motherfuckers are doomed? And that they'd be ruled over by the Combine and some absolute prick manager who presided over Black Mesa during this shit and failed upwards to running City 17? I remember when Half-Life came out and there were ads for it in gaming magazines. Run, think, shoot, live. I mean, the AI at the time was impressive unless it was scripted.
Anomalously.
Now, from a gameplay perspective, it's awesome that the designers let you know that there was a turret there. Still, these goddamn scientists are useless.
Freeman, I see you are in this mess.
Hell yeah, brother, this is my favorite part of the level. Good thing the Vortigaunts are a forgiving bunch.
Their only experience of humanity was a crowbar coming at them down a steel corridor.
You doomed the planet for reasons I can't understand, you fucking Jeffrey Combs-looking interdimensional slick-back oily hard-on. Reloading was such a novelty at the time. Games did it occasionally, but not for every single gun unless you were Marathon. Half-Life's weapons aren't the star of the show, and I'd argue there's probably too many of them that are novelty weapons. We'll get to it when we have the Hive Hand, the Snarks, you know. Oh, by the way, spoilers for Half-Life. If you haven't played Half-Life, I assumed that's why all of you wanted a Half-Life video, right? You needed me to tell you if this 22-year-old game was any good, right?
Ah, it's good to see you.
Yes, it's always funny. I gotta ride this here meat wagon and get into a vent. Oh, wait a second. This guy, this fucking head crab right here always used to get me. Hey, Civvie, did you know about that secret way through the vents in Office Complex where you can get to that room with all the ammo?
For God's sake, open the silo door! They're coming for us! It's our only way out! Oh my God, we're doomed!
Oh boy, I hope you were all enjoying Half-Life because it's time for the game to bring the hammer down. Everything up until now has been nothing compared to what comes next. So the scientists have heard some whispers about soldiers who have come to rescue everyone, you know, after setting fucking traps with tripwires and gun turrets and really inconvenient monster teleports that can fuck right off. We gotta talk about the apex predators of Half-Life, where all that fancy AI went. The Hazardous Environment Combat Unit, the Grunts.
Bravo Force reports.
Last, thank God.
They're not all so easy. See, he was supposed to shoot this scientist in order to show the player that they're hostile. Now, don't think I can't deal with them. I mean, come on, I've been playing this game forever, so let's humiliate these pricks. Look, Adrian, ropes! You can use those to get your brains eaten. Okay, there's always this part. And the one right after when they rope down from the Osprey. Oh, fuck, that's so hard. Right after that is one of the level design decisions I actually hate in this game, which is the fucking vents that go practically nowhere above this fan that'll insta-kill you if you touch it, and if you have to ride the ladder just right to avoid it. And why would they even drop down in here? What's the point? Drop a bomb down or something. Call in an airstrike. These vents lead you to some supplies, and it wraps around to earlier parts of the map, which is cool, I guess, but the whole vent thing is so slow.
Well, so much for the government. Their idea of containment is to kill everyone associated with the project.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Now look, if anyone can end this catastrophe, it's the science team in the Lambda complex at the opposite end of the base. With the transit system out, I couldn't tell you how to get there. But there's an old decommissioned rail system somewhere through here, beyond the silo complex.
Cool, no, that's fine, I wasn't busy. Just let me fucking run all the way across this base that's infested with invading aliens and bloodthirsty jarheads while I'm wearing a color that's meant to be easily seen and identified. Why not just paint a target on me and be done with it?
If you can make it through the rocket test labs, you might be able to worm your way through the old tunnels to track down whatever's left of the Lambda team.
Oh yeah, okay, sure. What could possibly go wrong?
Fire the agent. Destroy the damn thing before it grows any larger. Stop!
That's terrible advice, dog shit, awful, because you only have to be relatively quieter than an explosive. So we nade around the ladders and the doorways to clear a path, go through our second sewer, ride that giant fan, pump in the fuel and the oxygen, drop down again, run off over here, foolishly believe that an elevator in Black Mesa is gonna work and not kill you. Deal with whatever this shit is.
This is my hiding spot, and I'm not leaving until the situation is drastically improved.
Oh, yeah? I got some bad news. The situation isn't gonna drastically improve for like 25 years. Jump through electrified water because I ain't pushing those boxes around. Fuck you, Valve.
I hate Valve puzzles.
Slip by the tentacles like I've done a million times before. Hi, Barney. Bye, Barney. I'm gonna assume you put this barnacle here so you can have fun getting cooked next to this really unfortunately placed crate of explosives, and voila, hentai averted. Now, normally I'd be pissed to have to go through all that, but the game rewards you with its best weapon. Don't come at me with that what about the Tau cannon or busted makes me feel good. No, this Magnum is a godsend. Half-Life isn't known for great weapons, but this sniper hand cannon is the most valuable thing in the game. Headshotting grunts, picking off most things with a couple well-placed shots. That weird fucking barrel that they made for it because it didn't look right from the angle they made it, but it still always looked weird to me. Katie, drop a Beetlejuice, please, and thank you. Oh yeah, you guys got this. Have fun. If you enjoyed the last level where you had to run around a bunch of different areas hitting switches so you can kill a giant boss that's immune to gunfire, get ready to do that again. I always thought placing power up here was weird, like it seems like you're just doing the same thing again, But like, the Gargantua isn't immune to explosives or the Tau cannon or the gluon gun, but we don't have those yet, so we gotta lead him into this generator room to zap him into guacamole, or else he burns you the fuck down. The Gargantua isn't the problem though, cause these grunts are back. Did you miss them? Cause I didn't. Now I've got grenades for the SMG, and satchel charges, and the Magnum. Having these things now makes you appreciate them more, which is a little thing I like to call Valve blueballing. Valve wants you to appreciate these things, which is why they don't give them to you as soon as you need them. They make you wait. We'll come back to this. This is a major feature of Valve games, or at least Half-Life games. Remember how much time you spent in Half-Life 2 without a shotgun? Do you fucking remember?
Here, brother! Come closer. You've stirred up hell. A man after my own heart. Here, I have a more suitable gun for you. You'll need it. Catch! Good. Now, keep it close. My advice to you is, aim for the head.
Okay, so a basement has to get unflooded, and the military is protecting it for some reason. They're dug in like an Alabama tick. I know they're fucking tricks. I can hear them coming down the elevator.
These games are getting really realistic.
What was I doing? Oh yeah. Hey, get over here. Am I the only one who's read the goddamn script?
Freeman, I've been waiting for you. One of your scientist pals said to give you a message. You're supposed to take this old rail system up to some kind of satellite delivery rocket.
Oh, here we fucking go.
He said something about a Lambda team needing the satellite in orbit if they were ever going to clean up this mess.
I love that line because they do not clean up this mess. Welcome to On a Rail, the first of Half-Life's bad chapters. Fuck on a rail. Even if the phrase itself, on a rail, is reminiscent of running someone out of town on a rail, the idea is that you, the player, is in a situation that pushes you in a very specific direction. One way. And there's a quote from Max Payne 2 that always summed this up for me really well.
A funhouse is a linear sequence of scares. Take it or leave it is the only choice given. Makes you think about free will.
On a Rail is a bad level, but a good metaphor. See, in Half-Life, you get the sense that there's someone behind the scenes pulling the strings, making sure you're led by the nose to a predetermined outcome. Remember when I said that game developers after Half-Life took the wrong lessons from Half-Life? The game's linearity isn't just something they threw together, it's calculated, it's actually thematically relevant. Imagine that. See what happens when you hire writers? Nah, but On a Rail still sucks. Stuck on this train, ambushed at every turn, it does show off the AI fighting each other, HECU versus aliens, that's cool. Maybe I'm jaded from playing Half-Life so much, like I know when something shitty is coming, so it ruins everything leading up to it. Oh, there's turrets, surprise! This dick has a rocket launcher, duck under it. The train is made of brushes, so it's rocket-proof. Sometimes I'm not even sure what the damage is doing on hard, but if more than one Vord is blasting, you might as well call it a death. And then there's cool moments like this, where you see a trap they planted and one stray bullet fucks them over. So much of this level is stop and go, trap after trap after trap. Like, I understand what a combat puzzle is, but this whole section feels like it lasts forever. Until...
So, who is this guy, Freeman? They say he was at Ground Zero. Science team? You think he was responsible? Sabotage, maybe? Yeah, maybe. All I know for sure is he's been killing my buddies. Oh yeah, he'll pay.
Oh yeah, he'll pay. And whoever put this sniper in here, fuck you. Fuck you. Fucking Cabal. It sucks because usually when not playing on hard, one explosive gets the job done. But they have just that much more health so that it doesn't. Okay, launch a rocket, we're good, everything is gonna be fixed, and I'm sure that nothing of consequence will happen in the next more than half of this game. This section picks right back up, because the designers were so sick of being on a train that it crashes into the water. Yes, this is the water level.
Did you see it? They said it was hauled from the Challenger Deep, but I'm positive that beast never swam in terrestrial waters until a week ago.
Whatever, to fight this thing, you need to grab the crossbow, the game's sniper rifle, and one of the 3 weapons that does a goddamn thing underwater. Why does the pistol work underwater? Why? After the underwater shenanigans, and then more of those, with slippery water shit and whatever, the game expects me to jump through these crushers, which absolutely belong here and have a purpose, but I'm gonna solve this with science. Thankfully, Apprehension introduces more new things to Half-Life, unlike On a Rail, but I guess a bad Half-Life level was new at the time.
Freeman, right? I've got a message for you. Make sure you don't...
Here's the assassins, which are like HECU grunts except motherfucking ninjas. You think I'm scared of them? They're getting nades to the semi-invisible face. Yeah, on hard they go invisible sometimes. It's just mean. Thankfully you can hear them moving or shooting you. Sorry, ladies. And then, after you've, survived this game for a few hours against insurmountable odds, the lights go out after some evil level designer teases you with a health station that I didn't even need, and I get sucker punched and thrown into a trash compactor.
Get him. Nice hit. Where are we taking this Freeman guy? Topside for questioning. What the hell for? We got him. Let's kill him now. And if they find the body? Body? What body?
You guys should have put a bullet in Freeman's head first, right? Duh, but no, they don't, so you survive, escape the compactor, and we're right back into a bad Half-Life level. Residue processing, the worst Half-Life level that isn't. So all your weapons are gone, and you're dumped out into the desert with a crowbar and inconveniently spawning head crabs. You get to do a bunch of shitty platforming. Hey look, I can tell this pipe is gonna break because of the Z fighting. Yeah, good job. Residue processing is one big sewer, and I don't care what anyone says, sewer count 173. Say this part from the script. Say sewer count. Funny joke. Honk honk. I've played Half-Life all the way through approximately 900 times, and I'll never know where the fuck I'm supposed to go on these conveyor belts. Not exactly, I just remember that I'm looking for a trip bomb, and that I have to burn. And then, if you fall off because your momentum is all fucked up from being on the conveyor belts, because that's how that fucking works. Wait, heat lamps, I get it now! This is a Wendy's! Oh cool, it's that level where it turns out that Black Mesa has been experimenting on these alien creatures already because, surprise, the teleporter experiments that aren't really directly related to the resonance cascade. Hey look, other aliens that are clearly hostile and turn people into zombies, let's bring those back. Who was fucking funding this place? Congress? Nah, this level's good, because you get the Tau Cannon. You know, after fighting a bunch of soldiers and the alien grunts, not to be confused with the other grunts, who have armor that'll basically ignore small arms damage. And their dumb bullshit homing bees attack, and I don't even like the hive hand when I get it, same with snarks. What opens up here, though, you get more of that three-way battle, you versus aliens versus the military. Right, I was talking about the Tau Cannon, which has the best introduction of any weapon in the game.
What is this thing? Is it some kind of weapon?
Put that down. It's a prototype.
Man, why aren't we using it?
It's much too unpredictable. Don't let it overcharge.
What do you mean, overcharge?
You can overload the thing with the secondary fire, so don't do that. And before I even get the chance to do some fancy jumps with it, oh god, that's right, it's only in multiplayer now. That's bullshit. Thanks, Gabe.
We all have retinal scanner access. Escort us to the lobby, and we can get out of the lab.
You'll have to shut down the surgical unit first. Peters switched it on, but I'm afraid he never made it back.
Oh, Civvie, no, don't go in there and get killed in a funny way, not a chance.
Well, I'll let you out, but I'm warning you, it's hell out there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. Welcome to hell. This is it. The most brutal, most difficult section of Half-Life, the pinnacle of Valve grinding you into the dirt. This is that level. One ball-busting set piece after another. That scientist said you're supposed to get into the Lambda complex, but that's secondary when you're talking about this level's objective. What it's really about is getting a rocket launcher, and this is where Valve's blue balling really comes into play. You spend half of this nightmare getting chased by a helicopter, which I think you could shoot down if you have enough Tau Cannon ammo, which I didn't save because I needed to jib some soldiers. As soon as you get to the dam, you know, the third room of this gauntlet, there's the helicopter ready to shred you. Jump off the dam over here to be greeted by the overly tanky on hard ichthyosaur in the water, and if you surface, you die. And if you stay under there, you die. It takes 3 to 4 hits from the crossbow on normal to kill one of these things, and I think 5 on hard, so if you miss once, you have to go through the slowest reload of any weapon in the game, or switch to the pistol and try your luck. I hate it. Climb the ladder so you can get some health back. Turn off the turbine so you can go under the dam where it makes you sit there and turn this wheel and fucking drown. And once you're through that, you still got a minefield to navigate. You guys could probably airstrike that tentacle away, but no. No, that's a lower priority than the MIT graduate. The man is a theoretical physicist. This is that one level where every part gives you trouble, burns its way into your brain. After the minefield is the cliff section, narrow ledges, forced falling damage, inconveniently placed soldiers that you have to snipe. On any skill, surface tension is a giant pain in the ass, but at least at the end of this section you can finally blow up that helicopter. Oh, who put this turret here? Was it you, Kasali? But imagine playing this in 1998. Because I remember what it was like. In a genre where rocket launchers were fairly straightforward, having a laser-guided missile was kind of a novelty. And the first time you try it, you'll have no idea how this thing is gonna work. But you better find out quick, because that helicopter ain't going away. Oh, but that helicopter isn't even the worst part. No, it's the ladders. Now, ladders are a bit finicky in Gold Source. Notoriously so, in fact. So having only a tiny little bit of space to get on one sucks. And then there's another one above it with even less space. And if you finally reach the pipe, oh, son of a bitch! And once you're through with that, no more helicopters. No, they roll the tanks in. Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you. It's not as elegant as modern Major General, but it'll have to do. I admire surface tension in a way because most of the level is things just getting worse and worse. I don't think it gets worse than the warehouse, though. This is Half-Life, so you will never get in through the front door. There must be something awfully important in there for them to secure the perimeter with mines and snipers, and some generator that's electrifying all the stuff around it because despite your punny science titles, Half-Life, shit don't be like that.
You're heading for the Lambda complex, aren't you? I was heading there myself until I wound up here and, well, simply lost my nerve. Take one look through that door and you'll see what I mean.
How bad could it be? I'm not even mad that the warehouse is booby-trapped so thoroughly that one misstep causes it to explode. I was really mad about it 20 years ago. Okay, go in. Kill the head crabs before they trigger one of the trip mines. Break this one box, because if you raise this elevator, the box sets off a trip mine. Remember, crouch jumping is your friend. Raise the elevator, jump onto the other elevator, and then leave this cursed place. Oh, you son of a bitch. Oh look, the Hive Hand. Hello and goodbye. Save Barney, why not? He helps a little.
A little damage, but I can make it. See that shot?
I saw the shot that I made with the weapon that isn't useless. I know there's a turret in this truck. Black Mesa is a full-on war zone now. This part with the alien ship dropping grunts only to get airstriked and then another tank? I have to say this again, in 1998, nobody was prepared for this. I don't care if you drove a tank in GoldenEye, nothing had come out that was like a blockbuster. Every step in this level requires you to be paranoid. The tank is dead, but there's a sniper. The sniper is dead, but there are grunts inside. And you just walk up to Barney and he's like,
Hey, Gordon. Let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah, great, Barney. Open the fucking armory. I don't know why there's ammo for experimental energy weapons in here, but okay. Let's not forget to top off those missiles. Starting with Half-Life, there was a distinct sense that you needed to take everything you could in this area because you weren't ever going to come back here. Okay, I know how this goes. Nope. In all this commotion, you might not have noticed that surface tension is still going on. And it keeps going, and going, and going. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it this time. This motherfucker isn't gonna get away with his satchel chucking nonsense today. Fuck you and your scripting, Half-Life. Finally, we get to the last of the surface tension set pieces. This is why Half-Life is so well remembered. Hold on, Heck yeah, Dungeoneers, we're playing Half-Life, the best game ever. And if this video gets 100,000 likes, I'll release the Half-Life 2 video on Friday. No, Katie, don't let it say that. Don't let him do this to the kids, Katie.
Do it, Katie.
He's gonna ruin us, Katie.
Link the OnlyFans, Katie.
Stop!
We're under New Mexico. Come and see us, kiddos. We'll hang out in deathmatch.
You know, I think we've seen a drop of clowns in games. People just can't handle them.
Oh my god! It's Killing Time from Studio 3DO! So you could probably down this gargantua with the rocket launcher or other explosives or even the Tau cannon, but you're supposed to use the airstrike, which is cool in a totally unexpected kind of environmental interactivity. This was really the level where Valve was throwing everything at the wall, the real climax of Half-Life. Yup, every time. Forget about Freeman, or I guess we can't call this surface tension anymore since we went underground. Oh, right. Really, there isn't much to this chapter. You're basically at the Lambda Lab and fuck! That is the shittiest place to put a turret, and I'm blaming Dario Casali. Half-Life is out of tricks. You get more assassins before going into the Lambda complex, and this encounter is way worse. Not just because I'm low on health, because right before this I was dealing with all of the alien grunts, and between then and now there was one health station, and we're on hard. Health stations give you only 25 health. Yeah, that's not fun. A scientist lets me in, explains I have to start the reactor on my way up to the teleporter labs, and gives me something for the pain.
I can give you something for the pain.
Yeah, scientists can give you a health boost worth 25. That's right, a whole health station packed into one of these little syringes with a strange green liquid that the scientists carry on them at all times. What is that?
I built the gluon gun, but I just can't bring myself to use it on a living creature.
Oh no?
You don't look as if you have any trouble killing things.
I don't have any trouble killing things, but I don't want to waste energy ammo on head crabs. Oh, just... Whoever decided that the aliens needed to respawn in this level, go away forever, lose your job, assuming you were even employed by Valve or that Valve technically employs people. I assume it's like Gabe Newell's chocolate factory, and even then he can't murder more than 2 kids. This is what you guys are here for, right?
We suspect there is an immense portal over there, created by the intense concentration of a single powerful being. You will know it when you see it. I hate to say this, Gordon, but you must kill it if you can.
Yeah, you'd better kill it.
Of course, you owe us nothing, Mr. Freeman, but you've come this far. You know as much about these creatures as anyone.
Enough to know that if you don't wipe it out, there won't be much for you to come home to.
Yes. So...
And then they tell you that you gotta go over to the border world to stop the alien that's controlling this invasion, and that will save the Earth, and guess what? It fucking doesn't, because Half-Life 2 happens. I mean, I guess the Earth is intact, and there are still people on it, but I feel like the HECU was doing just fine against most of the invading aliens.
You got to get out of here. Listen to me, Shepard. Those things, they'll kill all of us.
Okay, here's the rule. If it makes me look like an idiot, it's not canon.
Don't linger, Mr. Freeman. You turned on the pumps. Now take the access pipe, plug the core, and get on up to the labs without delay.
Good, you think you're safe and alive? You're already dead, everybody. You're dead already. This whole place, everything you see is gone.
Anyway, you stock up, you get your...
This, Mr. Freeman, is a long jump module created expressly for navigation in the world beyond.
The world beyond. Huh, it makes it sound like heaven.
Hello, Freeman. I'm up here. Practice your long jump if you must, but hurry up.
Fight the alien controllers, another enemy made way too tanky on hard so that the challenge isn't the shitty homing projectiles, it's dumping half a cylinder of magnum ammo into their heads to take them down. I feel like the Tau cannon is a better and more efficient method of dealing with them than the gluon gun. I know what you want. You want that Freeman, you fool.
Freeman, you fool!
And I was gonna do that until the scientist got killed.
Almost there, Freeman. Get yourself in position.
I didn't even realize he could get killed. See, I never felt the need to play this game on hard, so he's never died on me. So I have to go through all of this trouble, all this bullshit, to get to Zen. Now, I bitch and moan about some things in Half-Life. A ton of stuff in it hasn't aged too well, like the engine, the AI, the models, the sound, the shitty platforming, but at its core, it's still an amazing game. A groundbreaking moment in the history of interactive entertainment, and my petty complaints are nothing compared to its impact on the industry. So, when I say that Zen is bad and rushed and not even remotely fun, I don't do it just because I personally hate Zen. I do hate Zen, but in my defense, it is an affront to human decency. But why? Why is Zen so bad? It's not just the platforming, that's awful, sure. It's also the gravity change, the slower falling but still killer fall damage, the waiting for the moving platforms, the waiting for your health to recharge in health pools, the fucking endless waiting. The game's forward momentum dies in Zen. When your game is linear, when your levels are going in one direction, forward momentum isn't all that you have. If that's gone, your expertly connected set pieces that escalate further and further mean nothing. A giant testicle monster. Sure, why not? Are you fucking kidding? It's multi-stage. It feels like it goes on forever. Why? I know you guys had some weird shit planned with Mr. Friendly, but did you honestly never think maybe we should cup the testicle monster? No? This is where the head crabs came from? It's important to the lore? Interloper breaks me. Interloper is the worst chapter of Half-Life. It makes residue processing look like fucking free Wi-Fi with tits. You will be asking yourself during Interloper, is this over? And the answer is no. It's never over. You're still playing Interloper right now. I'm still playing Interloper. We're all stuck here forever. Every bad thing that happened in 2020 was because of Interloper. Because someone thought, oh, I'll make these elevators spin. And put some Vortigaunts that attack you in here, and some that don't. And the mysterious barrels have alien grunts in them for some reason. You want to know what a dead stop looks like in Half-Life? It's this fucking hallway in Interloper. The Nihilanth is saying stuff to you. I sure hope he isn't warning me about unwillingly doing the G-Man's bidding. Oh cool, the gravity is all messed up again, and the collision and platforming is still terrible, so let's make that the main focus of the game for the final act. Because after Interloper, this baby-faced bitch is getting his fucking ticket punched. When the Nihilanth isn't teleporting you, ha! I dodged it, you weird fetal representation of one of the developer's anxieties about fatherhood. You gotta destroy his crystals first, and then go through his teleports. Yeah, kill the things on the other side of those teleports and escape. Make sure to always be behind cover when he attacks, because he'll always one-hit you, and then... Awesome. Cool.
Gordon Freeman in the flesh. Or rather, in the hazard suit I took.
Fine, I'll do it again.
Gordon Freeman in the flesh. Or rather, in the hazard suit, I took the liberty of relieving you of your weapons. Most of them were government property. As for the suit, I think you've earned it.
Oh yeah? Then why do you take it away from me at the beginning of the next game, huh?
The border world, Zen, is in our control for the time being.
Oh yeah, I'm guessing you'll have this place on lockdown for, I don't know, about 7 hours.
I have recommended your services to my employers, and they have authorized me to offer you a job. They agree with me that you have limitless potential. You've proved yourself a decisive man, so I don't expect you'll have any trouble deciding what to do.
Did I, though? Have I really decided anything? Haven't I just been on a rail this whole time from the start? I've been following straight lines to get here, following orders, doing other people's dirty work. At what point have I made a decision?
Time to choose.
I regret nothing.
No regrets, Mr. Freeman.